There are a lot of myths about PCOS, but today I want to talk about the top 3 that I often come across on the internet and with clients so we can clear the air on a few of these misconceptions. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer specializing in PCOS and insulin resistance. And on the channel, we talk about everything from nutrition and fitness for PCOS to how to have a healthier relationship with food and do it all without the stress. We also do some fun fitness videos on the channel, so make sure to check those out too and subscribe if you enjoy this video. All right, myth number 1 that I hear all the time is that PCOS is just a fertility issue. And unfortunately, from some clients, I've heard that certain doctors have told them that they should come back or only be concerned with their PCOS diagnosis and management of it when they're trying to conceive, which is absolutely the farthest thing from the truth. You want to be concerned about and working on PCOS management the second you get that diagnosis. Not to say you should be concerned about it, but you know what I mean. So PCOS is a fertility issue. Let's not deny that fact. It can impact fertility for some, but that's not the only issue with PCOS. By definition, you have to have 2 of the 3 diagnostic criteria to fit the PCOS diagnosis. You have to have a missing or irregular menstrual cycle, high levels of androgens like testosterone, which can manifest in acne and hair in unwanted places, and polycystic ovaries on an ultrasound. So 2 of the 3 of this criteria. So it does kind of make sense that most people think it's only a fertility issue. However, the statistics that we have today, up to 90% of women with PCOS either have or eventually will develop insulin resistance. 90%. That is huge. And insulin resistance is one of the key things that we look at in management of PCOS to help all of the other symptoms, including fertility issues, high testosterone, and wonky blood sugar because of that insulin resistance. So it's a really, really important part to feeling better and managing your symptoms. You also want to look at if there are any other issues underlying like hypothyroidism, which can come along with PCOS for the ride sometimes. Things like high cholesterol can be common in PCOS, and general inflammation, even if you don't have Hashimoto's or hypothyroid or anything like that and don't have a clear diagnosis beyond PCOS. You can still experience a lot of inflammation, which can be addressed somewhat, at least through diet and supplementation. You also want to be on top of insulin resistance because it can lead to weight gain and type 2 diabetes over time. And if you are concerned with weight, getting control over that insulin resistance and blood sugar management can help you get to a healthier weight in a more natural way, because insulin resistance can make that really, really difficult even when you're doing all of the right things. Myth number 2 is also about fertility, and it's you can't get pregnant with PCOS. Well, I guess I can speak from my own experience that I have 1 kiddo and another on the way, and they're not that far apart in age. So I can at least speak from one woman with undiagnosed PCOS for most of her life. I've gotten pregnant twice. But I am not by any means the only woman with PCOS who has ever gotten pregnant. That is a ridiculous statement. You can absolutely get pregnant with PCOS. Now, the biggest thing with PCOS is that if you have the symptom of an irregular menstrual cycle, this can make fertility a challenge, because if you're not having regular cycles, then you're most likely not ovulating on a regular basis. So you don't really know when, that conception can happen. So trying to conceive is going to be a lot harder that way. So if you were my client and that was one of your biggest symptoms with PCOS, we would work on how do we get those cycles back to normal? What supplementation can we do? And what diet modifications can we do to help that cycle get more regular? It's different for everyone, but here's a couple things that I normally look at with a PCOS client that has irregular cycles. Number 1, I want to make sure that you're eating enough, and if you have a history of dieting or disordered eating. A lot of times we can have some nutritional deficiencies that have gone unaddressed for a long period of time if you have that history of dieting and disordered eating. I know for a long time, like, I felt I was healed from my previous eating disorder as a teenager. However, I never really had a multivitamin. I was on birth control, and when I got off birth control, I didn't have a cycle for 2 whole years. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, is this normal? Like, do I need to do something different? And only when I started taking a regular multivitamin and I was starting to eat a little bit more, having more healthy fats, having more like avocados, peanut butters, nut butters, and a healthy amount of carbs, did I see that cycle start to come back. Another thing that I would look at is something like trying Ovasitol, because a lot of times with PCOS, we are low in myo-inositol, which is a vitamin-like compound that can help with insulin resistance and help with ovarian function. So this can help make ovulation more regular as well. I didn't have this when I was without my cycles, but I think my period would have come back a lot sooner if I had known about it back then. And with myo-inositol, there's really not a whole lot of disadvantages to taking it. It is a very gentle supplement that has been studied so much for PCOS. I think there's over 70 studies on myo-inositol for PCOS, and it has a ton of value in improving your blood sugar and improving your ovulation regularity. I do have a code for it if you want to check it out. The brand that I love is Theralogics. They have a really good powder that you just need to scoop into your drink twice a day, and it gives you exactly what you need. I've seen a lot of women benefit from myo-inositol and getting their periods more regular, so highly recommend that one. Myth number 3 about PCOS is that all women that are diagnosed with it have the same symptoms. And this is not true. PCOS is a syndrome, so there can be several different manifestations, as we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the video. For example, if you have high testosterone and polycystic ovaries, then you don't have to really worry about your cycles, and that might not be something that's a focus for you. If you have polycystic ovaries and irregular cycles, then the high testosterone and the acne and the unwanted hair growth and the hair loss might not be a struggle for you. It can manifest itself in so many different ways, so you really have to treat it at the source of your symptoms versus just treating it generally like everyone else and their mother that has PCOS. Even though my PCOS clients, I find as a whole, I treat in a specific way, there are certain tools that I pull out of my tool belt as a dietitian to really hone in on, depending on those symptoms. Your treatment plan should be catered to you and your symptoms, and that is one thing that I'm trying to really spell out in my new PCOS program that's coming up very, very soon. I'm actually going to take a moment to plug my new program. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it today. It is a 6-week comprehensive program for managing all of your PCOS symptoms without cutting carbs or dieting. That is a very key factor in that. I've helped so many women one-on-one to manage their symptoms without being restrictive or without cutting carbs. And I wanted to put it into a full program for you to be able to go through yourself, so I can help as many women as possible manage their PCOS in a smart and effective way. Right now, I have a supplement guide that I'm giving out for free, and that'll automatically put you on the wait list for the PCOS program. So if you're interested in getting the best deal possible, and I'm gonna have a super pre-launch price that you're not gonna wanna miss, definitely get on that list. Just download the supplement guide and you'll be on the wait list, and you'll be the first to know, first to get the best price possible on my program. I'm so excited to launch it, guys. I just cannot wait. I don't have an official launch date just yet, and I'm still working on hashing out some details, but I'm hoping to have a couple of the modules preloaded and done, and then week to week, we will do the rest of them together for those of you who are in the pre-launch. So again, super excited, and hope you get on my wait list so you can join this program with me. I'm so excited to work with you. And there should be some opportunities to work with me a little more in depth if you want to do some Voxer chats in addition to the course and program. I also have that addition available for a limited time, so consider that as well. All right, so I hope this dismantled a couple of the common myths of PCOS. There's truly an endless amount of myths that I hear all the time about PCOS, so we can do a longer version of this topic, or we can do a follow-up, part 2, part 3, part 4, whatever you like. Leave your own myths or things that you want me to bust in the comments, and let me know a little bit about yourself in the comment section below. I always like to hear from you and hear what brought you to the channel and what kind of video ideas you have for me, what questions you want me to answer about PCOS, because I am here for you to support you on your PCOS journey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll leave another PCOS related video here on the screen if you want to click over and continue hanging out with me today. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.